Still a tough one on the former Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong. It's not serious, but welcome back. If you want to understand how quickly power can vanish in Uganda, you only need to look what happened at State House on June the 7th allegedly. Just a few months ago, Anita Mong was arguably the most powerful woman in Uganda, a Speaker of Parliament. She held the gavel, controlled the House, and moved like an untouchable political titan. Today, she is former Speaker, replaced by Jopadhola after being forced out of the race for the 12th Parliament. Luxury rights, we are talking a Rolls Royce and Range Rover, have been seized. Her mansions in Nakasero and Kigo have been turned upside down by forensic investigators. And last week, she finally got the meeting she had been begging for with the President, Museveni. It did not go the way she planned. Let's break down exactly what went down behind closed doors. But first, let's see what former Forum for Democratic Change Party President Patrick Oboyomura said earlier. Former Speaker Anita Mong should be given justice and not scandalized the way she has been. What is happening against her is not about fighting corruption, which has been in this country for the last 40 years. The NRM regime has been in power. It is a fight against the level of the influence she has attained. That is exactly from the president of FDC, who is also from Iteso, like Anita Mong.
My view is that the application of the law is discriminatory, and whereas Anita Mong, the former Speaker of Parliament, may have her faults, I think that it is not only her who is wanting. I believe that the law should have been applied across the board, and that she should be given justice, not scandalized the way she's been scandalized, mistreated the way she's been mistreated. If the state has a case against her, the best place for her is the court of laws. And yet, at the same time, I think if Mr. Museveni is serious about fighting corruption, then corruption should be fought across the board without fear or favor. The situation of Anita Mong is an isolated situation. She is not the only person who has, done evil things in this country against the citizens of this country. Corruption is something that has been around for 40 years now of the NRM regime, and I think there hasn't really been a commitment to fight corruption. I believe that what is being fought in the case of Anita Mong is something different and not corruption. I believe that the fight against Anita Mong is a fight against the level of influence that she had attained, probably using money and other ways of getting to the hearts of members of parliament and important personalities in this country.
So the plea for forgiveness, the music shifts to a lower, more dramatic tone, for which sources say Anita Mong was pulling strings just to get an audience with the president when you are under active investigation by the Inspectorate of Government, IGG, and the CID. First time with the big man is your ultimate lifeline. She finally gets it, but this wasn't the warm strategic meeting of the past. It is the brief it was called. Sources familiar with the room say Mong did something you rarely see a political heavyweight of her stature do. So, she directly asked Museveni for forgiveness for any mistakes she might have made during her tumultuous time as Speaker. Think about the optics of that. This is a textbook play when something is about to go. You bypass the legal institution, you go straight to the top, and you try to settle it politically. But Museveni, who has survived for decades at the top by knowing exactly when to hold someone clothes and went to let the system consume them, played it completely cool. He didn't offer a political blanket. Instead, he gave her the coldest response a politician in hot water can hear. Told her the IGG haven't finished the radar report. Let us wait for them to complete it, and then we can see whatever can go for it. That's what has been tipped from that meeting. So give me back my Rolls Royce. But it gets more specific. Among wasn't just there to talk big picture politics. She wanted her lifestyle back. During the recent security swipes, agencies didn't just look at files, they seized massive assets. We are talking about luxury vehicles imported from Anakasero and Chigo residences. Among reportedly looked the president in the eye and argued that these vehicles and properties weren't bought with taxpayers' money. She claimed they came straight from the proceeds of her private businesses. Her direct request, she wanted her cars back. She wanted the surveillance lifted. And how did Museveni respond? Non-committal. He advised her to wait for the investigations to finish so everything could be resolved comprehensively. Let's read between the lines here. In Ugandan politics, when the president tells you to wait for the investigators, it usually means the political umbrella has been folded. You are out in the rain, at least until the system decides what to do with you. The fact that her Nekasero home is still under heavy guard by the Presidential Guard and Counterterrorism and unit tells you everything you need to know. She isn't just being investigated, she is being watched and watched very, very closely. So, what is the grand takeaway from this State House encounter? It signals a massive shift. Anita Mong's political and legal survival no longer hinges on a quick private deal over top at State House. Museveni is letting the active investigations run their course. The forensic audits of electronics, the wealth declaration tracking, and the illicit enrichment probes are moving forward. The era of Anita Mong's absolute dominance is officially over. What happens next depends entirely on what the IGG and CID find in those seized funds, laptops, and bank accounts. What do you think? Is this a genuine anti-corruption cleanup, or is it just the standard recycling of political elites in Kampala? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into regional politics. Until next time, I am Mark Tunu Brian, and I sign off.